Sunday, May 24th, 2020. This is All About Your Benjamins and your weekly mixtape and week in review video. I tell you what, I have been waiting for this day since last fall, sitting out on the patio doing these videos instead of in the house or at the office. One of my favorite things is to sit out on the patio in the morning while everybody's sleeping, read, do some writing, and then on Sundays record this video. And we have a beautiful day here in Fishers, so I have been looking forward to this for a while. But that's enough of that. Let's get to the headlines that may or may not be impacting your financial plan and portfolio. And as you look on the blog, there's only 3 articles that I highlighted. Nothing major in this past week. I mean, a lot of things going on, but nothing really new to add to the mix. So the first thing was just an article about unemployment and the slow move for people going back to work. Now, cities across the country are becoming open again. We're testing the waters. We're in our different phases. So businesses are beginning to open. Restaurants at 50% capacity. Retail stores opening back up. We'll see how quickly the business owners are able to bring back their employees, and do they bring back all staffing? But what the article talks about is just how people thought that they would be back to work sooner, and it's taking longer than expected. So we'll anticipate seeing high unemployment numbers for a while. Those numbers shouldn't shock us anymore. Hopefully they don't keep on climbing at the rate that they were climbing, but nonetheless, I think it's going to take a while. And I said that early on, that was one of my big concerns, is that the market is doing one thing and it will recover before everything else. And with the real test is going to be how quickly can we get our economy and our businesses back to where they were before coronavirus. So that's just the first article on there. The second one, our friend Fed Chairman Powell just talking about that the Fed is going to do whatever it needs to do to keep supporting the economy and the recovery. So they've got interest rates all the way down. They are doing some lending, and they're going to keep on watching the demand for lending and for loans to see what they need to do to encourage that. So you've heard that the Fed is out of bullets, and they're not. There's things that they can do in the background that honestly is way over what we need to really realize. But just knowing that there is support from the government, that the Federal Reserve is going to do what they can do. I think it's some of the reason you see some optimism in the markets is that there is the Fed put, is what they've talked about in the past, is that the Fed's kind of put a bottom into where they'll let the market fall. With everything that they can do. Do you make investment decisions based off of that? No. Again, financial plan, long-term horizon, diversified portfolio is how we should be investing, but it's just comforting to know that the Federal Reserve is going to do what it needs to do to support this. That takes us off into side conversations about what does this mean for the future, what happens to inflation, what happens to taxes down the road. But sometimes when you're in the middle of a serious event, you don't worry about the long-term consequences. You figure that out along the way, and there's different things that can be done later on as well. But just that's what that article is on there for. And final, the rental company Hertz filed for bankruptcy over the weekend, or maybe on Friday, and I just put that on there as we're seeing some of the names we've known for a long period of time, JCPenney, Hertz, filing for bankruptcy coming out of what's going on right now. And a lot of these will just restructure, they'll come back, but it's kind of eye-catching to see some of these names we've known for a long period of time, have been in business for a long period of time, have been through many recessions, many cycles, wars, and all these different things, finally succumbing to their business models, not necessarily keeping up with the times. And the reason I really like to put this article on here, not because I like to see businesses go out of business, but I think it's a good reminder for all of us to keep ourselves with the times and ahead of the curve if possible. Don't let ourselves become so far behind business models, so far behind the times, that we find ourselves in a position where we can't adapt and catch up with what's going on. A different scenario than a business versus us as individuals, but sometimes we get comfortable. Sometimes we don't want to learn new skills. We don't want to push ourselves. We get complacent. And I really think that could, down the road, with how fast things move, put us in a position where we might find ourselves on the outside looking in. So just as a reminder that it happens to businesses, but it happens to individuals as well. Unfortunately, we're going to see that with some of the people who have been laid off in this, is that their jobs will maybe not come back. Other jobs will come back, but do they have the skill set to jump over to this new job? Maybe, maybe not. And it's a little unfair in that situation, because no one has really told us that we need to be doing these things, but it is the reality of what we're going to look at. So use this reminder from Hertz and JCPenney's to keep yourself up to date with what's going on. Don't get too complacent. Push yourself, learn new skills, try new things. Maybe it becomes a little bit of a waste of time. Maybe you find a new skill that actually you enjoy that leads you down a different path, or maybe you just keep yourself armed for the next wave of what's going to happen and keep yourself employable with everything that's going to happen in the future. So just a little bit of an opinion on my point, but I really do want to see people pushing themselves to get better, not getting complacent, and keeping up with everything and coming up with new ideas. That's the way businesses are born. Is, you know, some people try new things, they get a new idea, a new business is formed, and off to the races. So that's it for today. I'll let you get to your weekend, long weekend. Happy Memorial Day. Hopefully you have some fun plans to safely be around friends and family and begin to get back to normalcy with everything going on. Make sure to check the mixtape. Not that I want to pick one favorite over any of them, but Morgan Housel's piece this week is phenomenal. I've heard the story that he writes about at a conference. It's just amazing. So if you're only going to read one, read those. I know a lot of you like to go see the pictures of the boys, so those are at the bottom, but they're all great pieces this week. But if you're only going to read one, you have time for one right now, read Morgan's piece. Again, just a little bit of perspective on just life in general and how fragile it can be, and he's a phenomenal writer. So with that, I will let you get your week. Thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and like. A lot more content is going to be coming to the channel. Some refreshing and rebranding coming to the firm. Hiring a new advisor. We're going to be increasing the amount of content that's going to be on that channel. Instagram Lives on Thursday, 7 o'clock at RLS Wealth. On Instagram, going to be doing some interviews with people. Those will make its way to the blog, will make its way to the YouTube channel as well. But if you want to ask questions during those, you want to be live, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Instagram, the RLS Wealth Instagram account. All right, I'll really let you go now. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.